Hello, everyone.
Like, maybe.
Welcome to an early Sunday shift. It is
Happy
Saturday shift.
Sunday. Well, yes, it is. I was like, Happy Sunday. But no, it's Saturday. So, yeah.
Y'all, it is. We here. We here.
We
Make
are.
sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hype us up. Again, y'all, I don't know what that means. I just know it's an option. So please do it for
Again,
us.
hype us up.
Raise the
You
roof.
know what? There's a song that it's a hip hop song, it's a rap song,
hmm
and has
I'm already
explicit
scared.
language. It's explicit language, but it's called Hype Me Up. And
Oh, yeah,
literally, yeah, you heard that? I
of
was
course.
like, I bought it. I was like,
You
she's
bought
like hyping.
it.
Yeah, she hypes herself up every like through the lyrics, and I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this every day too because I
Yeah, it's
need to
like an
hype me up.
affirmation.
The
Yeah, it's like an affirmation.
affirmation. I'm
Yeah.
like, I love it. I'm so see how out of touch and old I am right now. Um,
Yes, I have an affirmation playlist with many songs. That is one of them. Also, there's this song by Baby Tate and Flo Milli. I'm healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that. Um, like that's one of my hype up songs. And then there's this Ariana Grande song called Just Like Magic. Middle
okay.
finger to my thumb and then I snap it. Yeah. So yes, that is on my hype up list
Yeah,
as
can you
well.
send that? We should share. I
I
want to
got
send
you.
that.
I
Yes,
got
because
you.
there be days where I just be like, I'm like so not it. And then every once in a while, I get a pick me up. I had to go to Kaiser just to do a blood draw. And the nurse, she was just so sweet. She first
Hmm.
complimented me. She's like, "What are you wearing? You smell so good." And then she's like,
What were you
and then
wearing?
oh, just a combination of, yeah, I'm still old school Bath and Body Works stuff. And then,
Okay.
and I don't wear like the straight up scents. I mix them together. And then with good old fashioned soap, it smells great.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
so, and then, she was saying, how young I looked and all this stuff, and it just made me feel really good. So I love when you have affirmation songs and you have people who you don't know and you don't expect give you that affirmation. And it's a hallmark of particularly of Black women. We affirm each other all the time.
hmm Which
So,
is why I'm gonna drag Jordan this week, by the way.
oh
Okay?
yeah,
She's baby
but
girl's getting dragged. Beautiful, beautiful
yeah,
Jordan. Mm,
beautiful, but girl.
beautiful Jordan. A bird.
Bird.
Like
Yeah. So, yeah, and so that's what, and I'm watching, I'm still kind of doing that hype me up mood. So yes, y'all hype us up on YouTube
yeah.
and hype yourself.
Hype yourself. Hype
Hype
yourself.
yourselves.
So we are deep in fall, obviously. Autumn, my
Hmm.
favorite season.
Yeah.
And I am like trying to rediscover my signature scents for the
Mm.
fall. And so I have been working with, I can tell you what I'm working with, and then we can actually get into the show.
Okay.
But I will tell you what I'm working with on my list of scents. So I love like a good like yummy vanilla, like I feel like cookie scent for the fall. That's like
Hmm.
my fall vibe because I love a floral for the summer.
Hmm.
So I'm using EOS. It's like a bunch of their stuff. So they have like a body wash, but then I do a double wash, and then I do, oh, where is this other one? It's Olay, it's seasonal. So I have to stockpile it. Um, oh no. But yeah, it's a seasonal. I have to stockpile it. A spoonful of sugar.
Mm.
Um, yeah, amazing. Oh, I made a list and then I bought a bunch of it. So apparently Amazon takes it off your list, which is annoying. But anyway, then I do like this Dove when you do a body scrub. It's a brown sugar and coconut butter body scrub.
Mm.
You smell like a cookie. And then there's a Jergens Vanilla Crush lotion. And then
Sounds good.
I do. I don't recommend a lot of perfumes. I will recommend like body oil, body lotion, those kind of things because I think those are like a little bit more universal. I think perfume is very specific. And so you should like check your own perfume. So I have
Mhm.
found a perfume that's like a vanilla perfume that I like from Sephora. I can tell you the one
Mm.
I have been wearing. But again, I went with a friend when we got our scents together and it didn't smell good on her. Um, and so I got like the little small bottle at the front. I don't know how to say it, but it's spelled PHLUR. It's like a vanilla sky. So I have like the
Mm.
small bottle, and I just kind of spritzed a little bit. Been smelling delicious, y'all. And in a world where things are wild and I have not been feeling the best, smelling delicious has really been what I've needed.
Yeah.
Um, so that's
So
where we are.
yeah. Yesterday, so I remember yesterday I was wearing Bath and Body Works Hello Beautiful
Ooh,
scents
okay.
and then Beautiful Day, two beautifuls, but they smell different. But together with my, yes, I used Dial soap yesterday. All three of them were probably great
I
together.
do love when people are like, "You smell great. What do you have on?" And it's just some
It's
like
like
basic soap. It's
so
Dove, babes.
yes. And
Like,
but I like for my house, I like my home to smell great too. So I
mm,
use Cashmere Woods by Glade
okay.
oil. It,
Yeah.
Cashmere Wood smells like it's kind of a warm smell like vanilla, but it's not quite.
Mm,
But yeah, I love it. I love how it makes my house
yeah.
smell. So
That's my like
yay!
fall smell, but then in the winter, I love a something that smells a little bit like a Christmas tree mixed with
Mhm.
vanilla. And okay.
Oh, finally,
Yes.
hotel smells. Okay. Hilton has this smell called white tea, and when you walk into it, it smells just amazing. And
Okay.
you can buy it online. Actually, it's the Westin hotel signature. They have this white tea scented um fragrance
Mm,
line that you can buy, and I bought it, and it just every
white
time
tea.
I feel like I'm in luxury every time I smell it.
We love some
Like-
luxury, okay?
so yeah, there
I'm
you go.
looking it up now.
You guys have now our GH Sunday shift since lineup. And
Line
no,
up.
we do not work for these people, but man, we're
We
giving
want for
it
y'all to
up.
feel and smell good too, okay?
Right? So,
Well, that I guess was our week. Let's hop into the show. Who were your performers of the week?
oh, okay. So for still, 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 and always, Jane Elliott.
Always.
Man. So her scenes with, and also Erica Slezak, her scene when Jane Elliott's scene when she found out that Ronnie sold the house. Man, it was so powerful.
Mm,
Perfect. No notes. But for me, when I give it to Erica, is because her guilt
yeah.
every time it just like especially crumbling under Michael, um talking to Gio, um all these people, feels really horrible for what she's had to do. um Unfortunately she's weak, she cannot stand up for herself. But just no, I can just sense it with her. I just sense like it reminded me of whenever my mom would lecture me about doing something wrong. She would elicit that guilt in me and I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I still have
Yeah.
the, so oh man. Um, I also have to give it up to Rory Gibson. Man, he
Always.
had, angry Michael, clapback Michael, just like, you know, feeling disappointed Michael, all of this. But particularly when he was had the scene with Sonny, Michael and Sonny, and they were having breakfast or whatever. And when Sonny was like, that darkness in you, and then Rory had that look on his face. He's like, yeah. that darkness. I am dark right now. This is Dark
I
Michael
am Dark Michael.
today. Today.
Yeah. You
So
know,
yes. Um,
yeah.
I
You know,
think
I
who
have a
else?
friend who is just like had stopped watching GH and came back, and so
Uh-huh.
hadn't experienced Rory, and
Hmm.
she is having a hard time settling into his version of Michael. And
Yeah.
I get it because like I feel like Rory came in as the perfect storm.
Mm.
Obviously, he's very talented. Obviously, he's very handsome. We all know these things.
Yeah.
And we had witnessed Willow and Drew doing so much, and it was really like Michael's presence was needed. And
Hmm.
so now that he's Dark Michael, we kind of don't care because we're like, no, bring it on. And I think that like they did a great job of like explaining to us why he would be so different. We
I
don't
mean,
talk enough about him getting burnt up and then having and like you know what I'm saying? Like not knowing what that was gonna mean for him, not knowing anything, and then being like isolated away from his kids and his wife moving on with his uncle while that was happening, while he was in like intense pain. So I just feel like the darkness makes sense, but it is such a good reminder that if somebody's not watching the full story the whole way through like we are, we're gonna feel
mhm.
differently about it when we see it.
And I just kind of feel like his whole life, like Sonny described the life that outsiders see of him, that he grew
Right.
up wealthy, he grew up privileged, he grew, and he has all the things that people covet that he just was born into. People don't know how this man has suffered his whole life.
Whole
multiple
life.
kidnap Multiple kidnappings, multiple flitting around from house to house, parent to parent, um gotten shot, almost was in a coma, ended up getting going to jail, getting raped in jail. He has gone through so much. And so for him to finally come out and just be like, look, fuck it, I'm Dark Michael right now. Y'all better just, deal. I'm here 100% for it. I did have one more person, and it's a person we don't like right now. And I'm not even talking about Drew, I'm talking about Martin. Michael E. Knight. Oh my God. He
That
made
flip
me
was crazy.
recoil. Like when he was talking to Ronnie, it was like, you're going to sell the house, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, I was like, oh my God. It was like such a, not necessarily a flip because we've been seeing the anger and the revenge story build, but just the intensity of it literally made me recoil from the TV. So I have to give a shout out to Michael E. Knight. Man, I mean, he, like Cameron Matheson, is beloved in the community, and usually people don't necessarily see Michael E. Knight, the former Tad Martin, in this mode, but we're seeing it, and it was like jarring. And so I have to
Hmm.
give it up for that performance. So those are mine.
Yeah, yeah. I have a little bit to say about that, but I'll wait until we're
Yeah.
actually getting into the conversation
Hmm.
about all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's clear Eric Slezak is like, I came out of retirement for y'all to give me my um, guest Emmy, and I will be accepting it. Thank you. And like Jane Elliott was like,
Hmm.
I thank you for the ceremonial Emmy, and I will be here for the actual acting award next year. Thank you. I'll be there. And they better get it, both.
Okay.
I
They
don't
better.
watch the other soaps. Well, I watch Days, and I watch Beyond the Gates. I'm a little bit behind on Beyond the
Mhm.
Gates. Nobody's doing it like these two legends.
Mm-mm.
And people can get mad. Not y'all. I know y'all not gonna get mad. Other people can get mad. Nobody's doing it like these two legends, and that's just it. It is what it is.
Not right now, no.
I know.
Yeah, Young and the Restless does have some definitely capable actors that can bring it, but this week GH is on top 100%.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, let's hop into the week. I'm so sorry I didn't do another AITA. Actually, so we're recording on Saturday. I forgot we were recording on Saturday until I got the alert, like the 30-minute before alert. I was like, oh yeah. So,
Ooh.
here we are. Um, so let's actually hop into. Oh, did I mess this up? Where's my thing? Um, let's continue to hop into the PCPD investigating who shot Drew and the lack of investigation.
A
Because
lack
I
of,
swear this is not cute. It's just not cute. Um, I feel really strongly about the fact that we have not seen Willow since this happened. This is bizarre, is it not?
right.
Like
Somebody
she had
posted,
this, yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
somebody posted a meme like Willow's gone till November. Like, I guess so. She, maybe she is taking a little bit of the actress is taking a little bit of vacation because man, it's literally November. We still haven't seen
Now I gotta Photoshop Willow standing next to Wyclef.
right?
Like, oh
um, but
goodness.
but yeah, it was funny.
Um, so we have Michael and Jacinda. So Michael, oh, and Jacinda, this actress, delightful.
Oh yeah.
There's many other examples like this, but Jacinda, this actress, I'm so sorry I forget her name. Do you remember her name, Sonia?
Oh, let me go back.
Um,
I'll Google it while
well,
you're doing.
okay. So this actress who plays Jacinda, it would be really, really easy to not like this character, to write this character off, but she has so much personality. She makes choices that are so funny and grounded in the moment. I'm so impressed by her. And
Her name is Paige Herschel.
yes, Paige Herschel, you're doing your thing, babes.
Hmm.
I really appreciated watching the way she moved. And so this week we have Michael getting her a job with Nina. So Nina is like chatting with Ava, and Michael kind of walks in and is like, "This your new assistant girl." And
Yeah,
when Nina goes over my dead body, Michael said, "Say less."
bet. Let's do this.
Okay, whatever you
Clap,
want.
clap
Um,
back.
And so Jacinda is like, she's apprehensive at first, but when everybody leaves, because Ava, for whatever, Ava was like on fire too, MVP for me this week.
Yes.
She was like, let's just go, Nina, just do what you need to do. And so Jacinda goes, am I getting dental?
Yeah, what's the benefit package here?
Ask the right questions, Queen. Ask them. And, and
Tina
then
tried
Nina
to be
just,
like, Tina tried to be like, I want you here at 6 a.m.
she
And
said, great. I've been a lady of the night before. I can be a lady of the morning now. What we doing? And so, um, then Nina like basically is like, I know that you're not Michael's alibi. Like I know you're lying, and I'll pay you. Nina giving her a check. Peak. First of all, Tanya, do you still have checks? I don't see a
I
personal
I
check.
I do, but I don't use them because even now my rent is paid online. That's the only reason why I had it because I had lived in a place that was still not up with 20th century and was still accepting checks. So I had to have this checkbook.
Yeah.
But now they're up to date. So
No, I paid my rent via transfer, okay? But
right.
Nina giving this check with this paper trail to like do whatever she was doing. Nina,
Oh,
babes, what we doing? What we doing? Um,
desperate.
and so anyway, how did you feel? Like, let's pause there. How did you feel about like those scenes, Jacinda as Nina's as assistant and Michael just being like, yeah,
It just goes to the boldness of Michael's plan. Like he knows everybody is keeping his game, but he don't care. He's still thinking steps ahead. It's almost like I feel like he knew placing Jacinda under Nina would make Nina desperate enough to do some stupid shit. And she did.
Yeah,
It was just like she like fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And so, because I was just like, I'm thinking Michael's probably going to give her a job under him, like as a secretary or something like that. But no,
right.
he placed her squarely in Nina's camp. So I was just like, this is brilliant. And him just strolling in the office and being like, yo, so I know you don't got a personal assistant. So here she is. I'm
Here's one.
just like, here's what. And Nina's like, hell no. And he just reminded her who is the boss of her company. It is not her. It is Aurora, and he owns Aurora now. And she got to do what he says,
Right,
basically. And
right.
so I loved it. It was awesome. It was the comedy that I needed. And
Really
having Ava
funny.
there, icing on a cake, always.
Yeah, always. So Jacinda is like trying to kind of figure out what happens next, like, and really like went to Michael and was like, Nina wants this thing because Drew shows up and Drew tries to like shake her down again. She keeps
Mhm.
trying to intimidate her. So Jacinda went to Michael and was like, Nina wants to pay me to disappear and not be your alibi. And Michael kind of like stepped back and was like, listen, you have the power here. Like, I have the money, you have the power. What is your decision going to be? And she ultimately decided to stay with Michael. We also had Abby mention of Michael saying, the first woman I fell in love with was a sex worker. Um, just like really bringing it back down to like Michael not being judgmental,
Mhm.
and despite like some of the more conservative like storylines around pregnancy the show is having, it does seem to like understand that sex workers work and like actually treat sex workers with respect in a way that hasn't in years. So I've been pleasantly surprised about that. How do you feel about Michael and Jacinda?
I liked it too because like one thing that really gets me as a woman is when a man treats me with respect and lets me have ownership of my decisions and treats me like a human being. That is the
Hmm.
sexiest thing in the world you can do for me. And
Hmm.
so I was just like, see, this is like the sides of Michael, angry Michael, clapback Michael, sexy understanding Michael. Oh my God, all the things.
Hmm.
It was amazing. And I could totally see why people are shipping them now. Like, yes, I'm still not letting go of the idea of Sasha coming back, but
Same.
man, if he got to bide his time for Sasha to come back, I'm glad it's with Jacinda because it seems like a perfect relationship and a callback to, you know, it's not like totally out of the ordinary for Michael to really be hooking up with a sex worker, and why everyone seems to be shocked at it, they shouldn't be. And
No.
the only one who really isn't was Christina. So
Yeah, she's like,
it's
yeah,
just like,
Michael doesn't judge.
yeah. So I'm here for it. Let it happen. Pretty Woman.
Hmm.
Yeah, you had mentioned it on Twitter. It's like she having her Pretty Woman moment. I'm here
Big
for it.
mistake. Huge.
Right.
Um, I also, so we have this scene with Sunny and Christina sitting down because Christina wanted to let Sunny know that Alexis is going to be representing Willow. And Christina, it's just like, it felt like really silly on her behalf to be like, Michael didn't do it. And Sunny said, Sunny,
How do you
like, is my
know?
daughter an idiot?
Definitely naive.
Like, girl. Um, And so Nina comes because Ava called her down, like, girl, your plan is not planning. Like, text her, whatever. And or no, she called her. So anyway, your plan's not planning. You should come look at what's going on. She sees Michael and Jacinda cheersing, and so she moves on to a different plan. One, she was like trying to work with Drew. Drew was like, no. But Drew did say that he was gonna like say that he remembered Michael shooting him. And Nina was like, three's a charm. I'm gonna also be the person that tells you this is very stupid. How do people need to tell him this is stupid?
I don't remember how many people, Willow herself, I think. But yeah, I don't. Again, oh,
Yeah. And
what?
and then she runs up on Sunny. Ugh. My anti-Sunny Nina heart was so happy when Sunny didn't even want to talk to her. I was so happy. But just like an anti-chipper, I am.
Mhm. Yeah,
And so she tells Sunny, that there's another person that the police are not looking at, and that person is Portia.
just throwing Portia under the bus, and it was
Throws Portia under the
it was
bus.
the hilarious thing about it was when she was like, "I can't do it because she's my friend, but I'm gonna still rat her out to you anyway, so somebody else can do it." Girl, like, can you even hear yourself? It's just like she is so low down. I'm gonna bring it back old school, low down for doing for
Hmm.
doing that. And I was just like, you're gonna get whatever you deserve for being that. I hope. I don't know. Yeah, Ava. I'm trying to think if this is something that Ava would do in general. She would do it to Nina because, like, I guess Nina would do it to her, and she knows. But I don't know if she would do that to any other friend. So that's crazy.
I mean, I think that maybe it's like the whole because like Ava did like let Willow essentially know about Rick, and so whatever. I think
Hmm.
the problem with Nina, my problem with Nina, is that Nina never stands on business. She is just as slimy, gets in the mud like everybody else, but anytime you bring it up to her, she acts like she is like above it. So
Hmm.
now, I mean, and how many times are you gonna betray someone's trust for Willow who don't even like you? Even
Right.
on your best day, even when you were doing like the most bonding, your relationship with Willow was like transactional at best. Like it was not, she never messed with you like that. And you threw Sasha under the bus for her. Sasha, who actually loved you like a daughter, actually has always treated you with respect, actually cared for you, actually would like allow you to do anything without judging you. You threw her under the bus, and now you're throwing Portia under the bus, and you're like, oh well, um, I can't use it because she's my friend. Not only did you betray Portia, but putting Portia in this way also betrays Curtis, who is really your friend.
Hmm.
Nina, please.
She's crazy. But
Like, that's it. She's crazy. It
that's
just, it was like not surprising, but it was also like, girl, she also is like the worst person. It's like, what is the code? Like, y'all did this dirt together. You got caught up, and then you like threw her under the bus again. Like, ugh, get her out of here. Annoyed by her. Like, just us, Nina. So let's also then move to more of Black Hospital, which could also be called Portia's Uterus Hospital, if we're being
right.
quite honest.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so we have two things happening. We have Isaiah and Portia about to like go have like their love cabin in the woods. Thank you, Lucky, for it. And we have Jordan and Curtis having Noodle Buddha because she needed him to like bring her some paperwork about an outlet at her apartment. Girl, an outlet at your apartment? That's the equivalent of leaving something at a man's house and be like, could you bring that over? Don't do
You
it,
know
Jordan.
what? There's a thing. First, Britt and her, I can't open this window, and now Jordan with this outlet. I'm like, it's almost defensive to me just because here I am, single woman of the world, doing things for herself, and I have not
Right.
called a man. Well, only
Especially that's my
once,
else's
twice.
husband.
Right. For real.
And for me, I mean, now it's no secret that I'm actually like a Portia fan, so it is what it is. But I don't actually care about like the like what Portia did in Curtis and Jordan's marriage. That like because I keep seeing this like sentiment, like, oh well, Portia was in Jordan and Curtis's marriage, so she just getting her get back. No. I cannot believe that Curtis is the central point of all this. I am so sorry, but building Black Hospital with Curtis in the center has always been a mistake. Curtis is not interesting enough. The women are always more interesting than Curtis, and they have these two beautiful women going toe to toe over him for what? And then they like also have kneecapped Trina as his daughter because the way they treat Trina is absurd. They talk about Trina like she's 12.
Hmm.
She's gonna be so upset. Oh my God, who's gonna be there for her? She a grown up, she gonna be okay. They got Trina talking about the disillusion of the marriage, like, I'm just so sad about it. They have been married for like 2 years. You were an adult when they got together.
I'm
You
more,
didn't
yeah,
even know he was your daddy when they was about to get married. What are we talking about?
and I having her be upset over the wrong thing. I'm still salty over the fact that her real dad is out there and she's
Last
not
time
more
we seen
upset.
Taggart was at the bottom of a bottle.
Bottle, drunk and in an elevator, and she ain't said nothing. She's not mentioned him. She's not worried about him. Moving on with her life, focusing on the wrong quote unquote dad who ain't shit. Why? I'm just like, I don't get it. Uh, GH sucks when it comes to Trina and her parents and the family.
Yep. So we have again Portia about to go out of town with Isaiah. Um Trina pops up. Um they have a conversation. Portia's basically like, your daddy's a good man, but he ain't my man. And hopefully, like eventually we'll be able to be in good relationship with each other and he'll see me differently, whatever. I really appreciated that conversation. I appreciated that Portia did not throw Curtis under the bus with Trina. It was like to me like very mature, before she went to get
Mhm.
her back blown out by her side bae. Then we have Jordan and Curtis, and I want to know what you think about this because we have Curtis essentially being like, I should have never let this marriage go. I never really cared about Portia. So basically, they've had us watch Curtis and Portia over like the last couple years. And according to Curtis, like this was nothing. He only tried to make it work for Trina. He should have never let Portia go. Portia have been all up in their house, pretending to be their friend while actually like trying to be with her husband, acting surprised when Portia threw a drink in her face, even though you was trying to get her husband. I'm sorry, I'm telling you what I think. What do you think about all of this?
No, I mean it's very like so much similar. I mean, so dismissive of the relationship she had with what he had with Portia. And it's definitely giving, Bold and the Beautiful, where you have two
I don't know. It's
women
just
fighting. Yeah, but basically the main male character has been going back and forth with two women for years.
what male character is
Years.
this?
Ridge, Forrester, and Taylor and Brooke. It's just like back and forth. Even though
Uh-huh.
there's been and it's just like ridiculous. And Curtis doing the same thing is like maddening, especially as you said, these are two beautiful, accomplished women who can pick any man, and they go for this loser who can't decide what he wants. It's like I just want to bang my head against the table. And I'm like, yes, he's handsome, but that's it. He's definitely, Captain Save a White Woman and then not respecting the black women in his life. is very insulting and crazy to me. So I don't like it.
Hmm.
I'm not here for it. Um, and you know what? We're gonna you guys talk about it later. When he goes to confront Portia, I was actually hoping that she would just be
Tell
stronger.
Yeah.
Um,
So, okay, let's get into.
yeah.
So he's talking to Jordan, um, and they're basically talking about like how they have wanted to be together, whatever, whatever. And Curtis essentially like just asked her, like, let's do it.
Mhm.
And she's emotional, and she basically tells him, I think that Portia's pregnant.
And that's the worst thing because I mean, she explains because I lost you because I kept the secret before. That's your secret that you kept, not somebody else's. So she basically told somebody else's business to this man out of whatever feelings of loyalty or need to be honest. She didn't need to be that honest. She could have said, you know what? I know Portia's holding something back from you. I know what it is, but it's not my business to say. You should talk to her. That's what I would have felt more comfortable with. But no, she tells everything. And she wasn't even 100% sure of it.
Hmm.
Girl,
And it also is like the only reason you know is because you was in somebody else's business. Like, I just
right.
really need to like talk about the level of loser you have to be to track another woman and like whether or not she looks uncomfortable around a certain set of food, follow her somewhere, talk with her, and then say, "Oh, are you pregnant? Girl, why is that your business?"
It's
Like,
not.
you wouldn't even know anything to tell Curtis if you wouldn't have been all up in her face. Like, and you told him on some pick me behavior of being like, oh, well, you can trust me because I'm not the same liar that she is. It just, it was so unbecoming of a character that we have gotten to know in Jordan. And
Mhm.
like, again, we all do stupid things in love. I'm not saying that that's not true, but they are dulling Jordan's character. We have never seen Jordan be this stupid before.
The thing is that they have been portraying Jordan as someone that has like dignity and decorum and
Yeah.
respect. But that right there is like is it shows a lack of decency and dignity. And it's really brought her, I think, in my eyes, lower because you can't
Yes.
respect another woman's privacy because you want to be with this man so bad. That's
And
not
not
dignified.
only,
That's not,
yeah,
yeah, that's not what, uh-uh, no.
and not only did you not respect this woman's privacy, like with this man, you told Anna and you told Laura.
Right, just
Like,
going around
and
town telling everybody.
and I appreciate so like when so Curtis finds out, he like thanks her, whatever, and this is proving the kind of woman you are. Yuck. So then he runs into Laura, and he's like telling her business to Laura, and I think I don't know, like just because we are of like a certain age where like pregnancies are high risk. Like basically after 34, if you get pregnant, it's high risk. A lot of women don't say anything past the first try before the first trimester. They hold things close. So not telling someone about your pregnancy that early, particularly anytime, you never have to tell anybody about your pregnancy. Somebody can have a belly poked out about to give birth and they do not owe you whether or not they're pregnant. If you're not a part of the pregnancy equation, right? But there are lots of women who hold and want to like be like, oh yeah, I don't know or I don't want to talk about this until I know that there's going to be a baby, until I'm past that first trimester because anything could happen. And to like have somebody like Jordan, who's also of that age, essentially not understand that and go tell her business to every person who would listen is wild to me. And
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm like, it just doesn't reflect, it's not soapy. Like, I love a soap story, I love soap mess. This is not soapy. to run around and talk about what's happening in another woman's uterus. If we need some more soap stories, then we need to figure out some more soap stories. This is not a soap story, or not soapy in that way, you know? So Curtis basically is like, yeah, if I had it my way, I would have this baby and I would have Jordan. It was giving incubator. It was giving. I would love for
Ah,
my ex to incubate this baby so that me and my ex-wife, my ex-ex could raise it.
yeah, this lack of consideration on his part is just crazy. Um, and I
Ugh.
get that. I mean, there's an element for me, and I know not so much with you, there is an element of quote unquote father's rights, but they are not together at all. And he's just like taking total, like, quote unquote ownership of her body and her decisions, you know? Like he was like, well, I got to make sure that she's not thinking to abort this baby. Like like it's totally up to him. I mean, I just like I feel like for me there's a point of being informed and then there's a point where he's crossing the line and making it like it's only like his feelings are the only ones that matter. And he's definitely crossed that line, especially since he's not even supposed to know. And he's assuming this kid is his,
Mhm.
which is
I
a
mean,
big assumption on his part.
especially because you've been having them, and that's the other thing. They have been having an emotional affair for a long time. So I actually
Right.
don't care about Portia's affair with Isaiah. And like, Portia's like, oh, Trina's gonna be upset. Okay. But Trina knew enough about her dad having an emotional affair that she went to the other woman and was like, yo, could you give my mom some time? That's how
You
deep
know,
she knew about the emotional affair. And so I actually am not trying to hear it about what Portia has done physically with Isaiah. Like, I feel like it's, to me, Curtis is worse, but it's neck and neck. I don't feel like, oh, because Portia crossed the physical line, it's worse. I don't feel that way. I just don't. And he also, the way he was talking to Laura, it was like, I gotta rush to like talk to her. Like basically, like I gotta talk her out of like an abortion if that's what she wants to do.
right.
No, 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 absolutely not. You don't
And
even know
then
what's going on with her health. Again, th- I think the only reason I want to like see something a little bit more realistic is because this is like a hospital show and it's like a doctor who's pregnant, right? Like you don't even know, you didn't ask, is this high risk? How are you feeling? Like nothing. And I think that those little pieces, like I get we have to move plot along, but those pieces are really missing, particularly because you probably have an older woman audience who knows better than all of this.
and then to go and lie to Portia was like, I'm thinking, is he said to her, he's like, are we thinking that this divorce is the right decision? Now that you're pregnant. Yes, it's the right decision because you do not love her and you only trying to stay in a marriage because you have a kid. That's the worst decision I've ever heard. Especially,
Yeah,
me personally being a child of a marriage that did not work out. That's not something you want to do to a kid, much less to each other. It's unfair.
yeah,
It's
right,
very unfair.
right.
And, I'm just like, he is so self-centered. It's I can't with this man.
It
Cannot.
was also like he also tried to guilt her around Trina again. Like, well, I wasn't there
Mhm.
for this last thing, so I want to be there every time this baby wakes up and this and that. Get a puppy,
Right.
okay? Like nobody wants to hear. I just don't. And I'm over it. Like I'm also watching Days too. So like this whole like men's rights of it all. Y'all know me. This is not a secret for anybody who listens to this podcast. I don't care about men's rights at all.
Right.
Just don't. And particularly around like a woman's body. Um, I, I just the selfishness of this story. It's not interesting to me. And now we don't know what Isaiah's gonna do. So we have because all of this is going on. We have Curtis like confront Portia. So we find out, I'm sorry, let's back up. So Portia reaches out to Ava. Were you surprised that she reached out to Ava?
Um, when it comes to Trina, no, but then I'm also like going back to what you said is everyone treating Trina like a child. And this is part of it. Like Portia going to Ava and being like, I need you to be there for Trina. Like Trina can't handle this news on her own. She needs to have
Hmm.
everybody protect her. So
Hmm.
I'm not appreciative of that aspect, but I do like the relationship that Portia and Ava have, gleaned together. I enjoy that aspect of it. Because apparently Nina ain't her friend.
Well, that
She ain't got,
period.
so like Portia don't have a lot of friends, a lot of women friends that she can trust. So I'm glad that she has
Right.
somebody
And she
because
might
it's
have thought that
ridiculous.
like she might have thought that Liz would be judgmental because she told Ava it all. And I do
Right.
appreciate Ava being the friend who was like not judgmental. She's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's Isaiah. Yeah, I work with him. Yeah, it's a mess, whatever.
Yeah.
And I appreciated Ava asking like what you try to do,
Hmm.
because before she said congratulations or whatever, it was like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
Like very, very Ava, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I liked Portia just like saying, my plan is to get through this first trimester, then this, then that. So Portia had a plan.
Hmm.
Um, and so I don't consider this like to be some dishonesty. I consider this to be like getting my ducks in a row and ducks in order.
Hmm.
And so like I liked that. I liked their conversation. I liked that Ava said, "Of course I love Trina and I'm here for you."
Hmm.
But it really does uh highlight that story has gone from being like with Trina to about Trina.
Hmm.
It used to be a lot of the story was, we even it was like we have to protect Trina. Trina was like present in it, or she had her own thing going on while people talked about her. She's very central, and now she is not. They centrally talk about her, but the action is not about her at all. And I just have to wonder what's going on there. I mean, we also do see, of course, with Jocelyn's story, we'll talk about that more, but like that's also kind of being taken from like that is now also being taken and given to like the like older adults in the stories as well. So I'm just wondering, are we
Hmm.
moving Trina and Jocelyn to something new? Are they not being centered in the story at all? Like what's about to happen? Because, it's just it's not there.
And
Um,
like the younger generation is actually being more focused on than Trina and Jocelyn. Right now we
yeah,
have focus on Gio and Emma, um, Danny and Rocco and
yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah,
It's yeah, they're kind of being like isolated.
yeah, yeah. So anyhow, we have then Portia goes back to work. Um, I loved, oh my God, I forgot about this shady stuff. Curtis is at the hospital. He sees Isaiah and says, have you seen Portia? Da, 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 da. And Isaiah gets snarky. They have like the little exchange. And Isaiah, who thinks Portia is at the cabin, goes, good luck finding your wife.
And then, you know what? And then the funny thing is like Curtis was talking out of the side of his neck, and he's like, I don't need you to play messenger for my wife, but if you see her, tell her I'm looking for her. I was like, oh, so you want him to give a message for you, even though you don't need it. Man, do you even listen to yourself?
I
Like,
cracked up. Good luck finding your wife, Isaiah. You are messy, and I really like it. I I mean, I think the Isaiah actor is very, very handsome, and him being messy is just like my type of character. You know what I'm saying? I very much love it. But yeah, Curtis runs up on Portia, talks about what he wants, and like to your point, like you said earlier, talking about like should we break up? You should. You
yes.
should not be together. And I don't know. I hope the baby's not his.
Yes, that would be awesome.
But I'm interested to see, like, because Portia said she's like, I don't know if Isaiah wants to be a father. I don't know what's happening there. So I'm interested to
Yeah.
see.
But as I alluded to earlier, I really wish that Portia would have stood up to him more. Like she
Okay.
was actually mulling over the idea of them staying together, or at least the way she
Yeah.
said it. And I was just like, she would have been like, no, we're not staying together. No, whatever I do with this child is my decision. This is my baby. I wish she would have did that because he deserves no consideration whatsoever. And especially, she had a little bit of a fire against Jordan telling the secret, but I wish she would have full throttle been like, it's none of your business. I'm not telling you shit. Get out of my office. We're getting a divorce. I'll see you when we sign the papers. That's, you know, like she didn't have to tell him anything. I really wish she would have stood on business and did that. But whatever. It's Curtis hour.
Mm, 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 mm.
But I guess
Yeah.
maybe she's thinking she still might be at risk, which apparently she is because of Nina's ass. They're both still kind of, not out of the woods, even though they kind of think they are. They aren't out of the woods in terms of Drew's shooting. So I guess, but
Right.
still,
Right.
I hate it.
It's, um, so we do have like so talking about let's talk about Monica's will. Um, as I suspected, we find out that Martin did it all.
Hmm.
So obviously, like we start the week where we ended it last week, where Drew's at the house talking crazy to Rocco and Danny. Laura comes in, basically tells him he is a POS, and Ronnie is like finding all of these things out and tells Drew to leave and says she's not going to sell the house to him. Drew goes to sit with, and then we have like some really good scenes. I like the scenes with Laura and Ronnie, where
Hmm.
Laura's like telling her about the quarter maids and all of that. Like, let's get some real stories up in here, okay?
Hmm.
Like, let's
Yeah.
not just talk about Monica was so nice. No, Monica and Alan
Mhm.
were a mess, okay?
Yes.
A mess. And so we have that. Then, we see Martin and Drew together, and Drew was like complaining about how Ronnie won't sell the house to him. And I found it to be really weird because Martin was like, or one of them was like, I thought she'd be more reasonable. In what world would it be reasonable to sell the house to Drew
Well,
when
I mean, though,
all of the
like Drew,
Quartermains are there?
yeah, I mean, Drew was under the delusion that the power of persuasion of him just talking to her, then she saw his point of view. She felt that he was warming up to her until those rotten kids came up into the house and ruined the story. But through the meddling ass kids. But anyway, he thought that he actually got through to her. So
Right.
he's definitely delusional in that aspect. But yeah,
It's
and Martin.
also bizarre because if you really think about it, the only person in that house who's like the person in that house that Ronnie is actually related to is Michael.
Hmm.
Michael is the only person who is blood related. Oh, well, Michael, his kids, the only people who are blood related to Monica.
Hmm.
So to have like, so like that's his great aunt. And her to like, it shouldn't have taken all this other stuff for her to like feel this way. You could have seen what Drew did to your like
Yeah.
to your nephew and been like, oh no, this is a mess. Because Monica wasn't even claiming Drew at the end. So maybe you feel like a camaraderie with Jason, but who is Drew?
Nobody.
Just nobody at all. So it was like really
Hmm.
weird. Um, I also looked up because I was like, this is weird. And I understand soap time, so y'all, I'm not trying to say this is not soap, but I did look up like how long does it take a will to go into probate? I was like, wait a second, this is moving very fast.
It
Like, even if
is.
Tracy didn't have the other will, like, generally speaking, I'm reading from what I looked up. It takes about 6 to 12 months for probate, and that's without or like 6 months without like a substantial challenge to the will,
Right. And
particularly
it's
for that amount of money.
yeah, and even then, like Tracy consulted Marco. Marco's like, all of this is gonna take time. Like, and
Yeah,
you challenging is gonna take it even more time.
yeah.
So for
So
them
it's
to be like, for Drew to be like, I want to buy the house isn't
with
technically
everything
hers
in it,
yet. With everything in it, the house isn't technically hers yet.
wild. And again, I get it. So, but it just made me laugh a
Right.
little bit. It was like when I looked up you remember when they did like the somewhere in Greenland story, and I was like, how long does it take to get to Greenland? Like it's that kind of thing. Like, so yes, don't come for us. We know it's soap. It was just funny to
The
me.
Jewish
Um,
time machine.
Jewish time machine. And so anyhow, Martin goes to the house and runs up on Ronnie and it's like, girl, you know. And I also Ronnie realizing that Martin drugged her, which was nuts, Martin. I will say the shift in tone. No, I'm gonna pause there because I want to hear what you have to say that, and then I want to talk about how I feel about the shift in tone. How did you feel about all of this? Were you surprised? I know that you originally had thought last week that Ronnie wasn't even drugged.
Right.
Um,
I literally did not think she was drugged at all. And I'm still not convinced, even though Martin didn't even
he,
really admit to doing it. She
he
just
did.
accused him. Did he say
Yeah,
did he
he
say,
said he
yeah,
did
I
it
drugged
because
you?
yeah, he
He
said he
said,
did it because he saw Tracy softening to her, and he needed to make sure it was
oh.
messy.
I was just like, we didn't see it happening. And so I was like, okay, I guess. But for me, it was just like I was like, one, I was very, thrown back about how intensely his hatred for Tracy was, even though he did kind of explain it, because not only Tracy put him in the hospital, well, he did that himself, but basically it was her fault she was in the hospital. But I also forgot that she did, because it was such a minor, note, but that she did ruin the relationship that he had with his ex-wives, even though again, that's still his fault. The fact that he has several different ex-wives and owes them all money, that's crazy. And that's on you, dude. But she, guess made them aware of where he was at so they can still go for his money. And so that's why he's like super mad at Tracy. But just the very intensity that he, shared that anger with Ronnie just was like, whoa, because Martin has been putting himself off as somebody that had more morals than his brother Cyrus, that he was a better man than Cyrus was. Yes, Cyrus was a murderer. Yes, Cyrus did that, but he loved his mama. He did everything for his mama in a desperation and was wrong. Um, but I felt like Martin had, at least when he's with Laura and, with Lulu, he's like, I'm the better uncle. I'm, nice and all this other stuff. But then he turns around and does this revenge plot. And it had shades of Cyrus for me. I was like, some side of his family. And I even went so far as looking up his dad because the mom was just like sick and all this other stuff, but I didn't really see her as the evil part. But I looked at the dad, and the dad wasn't evil. He was just an adulterer. So I'm like, where did they get this like evil, gene in them? Is it their great grandfather or something? Because it's not on Laura's side. But anyway, I was just like, it's just like Martin Cyrus side has definitely come out, and I was just taken aback. And And almost in the same way that Drew's change is taking everybody aback, but Drew's change seemed to be a bit more gradual. But man, I was just like, and I'm disappointed because I did want him to be the better uncle. I did want him to be somebody that Laura can count on because Kevin's out there being a villain and so uh, like Laura don't have somebody she can count on now. And she's
Right.
like going to Sunny all the time. And that's, even though it's not horrible, it's just not the type of person a mayor should be going to. So it's just like Laura, now that this has come out about Martin, like Laura doesn't have a good person to hang her hat on, and I'm just like so disappointed that he's now evil. So all that to say, which meant nothing. I'm just rambling, but it's like that's how I was feeling. I was feeling all kinds of feels, but very taken
Yeah.
aback.
Yeah.
By the whole situation.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it like I think the switch is like jarring
Hmm.
because so he's mad at Tracy, which we knew, but that
Right.
had really been played for laughs. That had really been
Yeah.
played as like a yuck. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't played as like so sinister. And what he was mad about Tracy was like getting caught up for something that he actually did. Tracy didn't make
Right.
anything up about him. Like you did do this thing with your ex-wife. You have been shady. And so you get caught up, you go to jail, you lose everything, you're mad at Tracy. Okay, that like being mad at everybody else, like dishonoring Monica, all of that, just bizarre and not in line with the ways that we've seen this. Now, I knew something was wrong with the will when Tracy said, well, first of all, I would have said the sister of my heart, because that don't make sense to be Ronnie. That's your actual sister. So my assumption is
Right.
that he just switched out and put Tracy's name there, or from Tracy to Ronnie. So I think Tracy's getting the house. Um,
Yeah.
but it was also when Tracy was like, Monica was never cruel, and this was cruel.
Hmm.
Like the pickle Lila thing and nothing else was very cruel, particularly because like they had gotten so close at the end of Monica's life.
Hmm.
So I just felt like the shift was like, and him just being like, talking to Ronnie like, you broke bitch. I put you out about the gutter in Raleigh or wherever, no Durham. You be still
Right.
flipping burgers with your broke ass if it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it just was really like, oh my God, Martin. Um,
Yeah.
and just being like obsessed with getting Tracy back. It feels like there are other ways to get her back. It feels like Tracy has done really other shady stuff besides like you helping Drew do this to a family. I don't know. It just and I never side with rich people, but I was like, dang, I feel bad for the Qs. So I don't know. It was an interesting flip. We obviously Michael knows something's up because when Michael's asking Ronnie, just sell it to me. Drew also cartoonish, so you had these two cartoon villains. It's just like Drew sounded crazy. Drew's like, like whatever. It was just he's like, and then I'm gonna burn
Burn.
the furniture, and you're gonna watch me take your house. Why
Right.
do you have so much beef with Michael? You
So
have done
much
nothing
beef.
but hurt Michael. This
Michael
beef
has
is
done
nuts.
like Michael has done nothing to you. You're just
Well, I
like
guess they're trying to take
so
it back to him taking Aurora, but they don't talk enough about Aurora for that to be like, you
a
gotta say
reason.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta, because the thing about it is, they just have never, first of all, what they have this Drew doing would have made sense for like how they treated Billy Miller's Drew
Hmm.
after they found out he wasn't Jason.
Hmm.
Now, granted, I understand that Cameron's Drew is not Billy Miller's Drew. And I think I'm trying to find a way to like close the chapter and understand. And when Cameron's Drew first came on, we knew that he cared deeply about Scout. And he also still loved Sam. Even when him and Sam didn't get back together, like he still had love for Sam. When Sam went and told him she was getting surgery, like Sam cared about him enough to like put him in charge of Scout and Danny. Like they cared for each other. So his behavior now is just like it's not necessarily even about Billy Miller's Drew. It's about what we've seen from Cameron's Drew.
But even then, like even when it was like Billy Miller's Drew and they found out that he wasn't Jason, Michael was the only really one that was still for Drew. He
Yeah,
always felt like Drew was the uncle. He always respected him, even when he didn't know he was Jason. And so, like, Michael has been the most loyal person on that show to Drew.
yep,
And so, for him to transfer all this hate to Michael is just really crazy.
yep. For him to not understand why Michael was
Right.
so mad at him. And
Right.
then, Michael gets burnt up in this fire and you don't even feel bad for him. You don't even feel
Mhm.
anything. You still are cruel. You're still like this is like a very weird whatever you're doing. And so
Mhm.
then you turn around and again, after this every weekend I'll continue to say it, villains usually have a grounding force.
Mhm.
You usually will say they care about their family. The thing about one of the biggest redeeming forces for Ava is how much she loves Avery and how much she loves Trina. There are like actual things to root for people like that.
Right.
Valentine loves Charlotte. Even if you remember back to when Charlotte and Valentine were on the run, Valentine asked Charlotte if she wanted to go back and live with her mom.
Yeah. He even told Lulu, I got myself caught so that Charlotte can be safe.
Yes. So like these people who have done heinous things still care about their kids. And
Yeah.
Drew is like still like you like when he's talking to Molly who like goes to see Cody and because Cody calls her about the law, which was crazy. Molly's the DA, not a property law lawyer. Anyway,
Lol.
he like okay. He's like, "Oh, you need to like straighten up before you don't see Scout. You're punishing your daughter on your petty vendettas. We have not seen you care about your child." That's always the one thing that grounds villains is like the care for somebody. And how he feels about Willow is not rootable. So I'm not really clear what's happening with Drew.
Back to Martin. Another reason why it was jarring and I'm disappointed is because I was actually hoping that Martin and Tracy would get together. That's not gonna happen. Like somebody had,
Yeah, a lot of people did.
like
Yeah, a
a
lot of
lot of people
people.
did, and I was just like, I was hoping they would just have this ultimate fight and end up in bed together. That would be just like the craziest thing. But that's not gonna happen now. Not like with the intensity that he hates Tracy or how he's playing it now. And when Tracy finds out what he did, mm-mm.
Hmm.
Now Tracy has gotten together with some villains, but when she finds out what they've done, then they're cut off.
Right.
So, it's not gonna happen.
Or like, Luke was Luke, but it was something that wasn't this. This is too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So anyway, Drew Michael is like, Ronnie, why are you doing this? Ronnie gets cut off from telling Michael that she has to. Michael's gonna be a witness to the house getting signed away, and in comes Outback. Very cartoonish all around, but I still loved it. Taking the paper,
Yeah. At
kind of
least it's
split
not, I
screen.
mean, at least it's
Oh, go
not
ahead.
Cody. I was like, at least it's not Cody. I'm
But
sick of
we do
sick
have
of
this
Cody
like Cody
saving the
loves the
day.
cues. Cody loves the cues.
Yeah, but I'm sick of him trying to always being the one to save the day. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, he has a near kiss with Molly. And
And
you're not a moldy fan?
I don't know. I hate to admit it. Him and Molly are cute, but
I mean,
that's
yeah, they
it.
have a
That's
great
all I'm gonna
chemistry.
say. Yeah,
But that's also because Molly, that actress that plays Molly, I love her. So, yeah,
yeah.
she's very talented.
Hmm.
Um, so anyway, we're gonna see what happens because at the same time, I also loved the scenes with Tracy and Lucy talking
Hmm.
about the cues and like it was like a reminder that one of the few people who have been around for that long is also Lucy.
Hmm.
Um, So Lucy, of course, being Lucy, finds out that Tracy need a house, and she goes try to sell her one.
Lucy
And you know,
ain't got no shame in her selling game. She
none.
will sell
We love a hustler. Okay, I feel it.
100%.
And so we are watching Tracy. We see that there's like the actual will in the things that Tracy has packed. So the whole episode we're like, Tracy, find our will, find our will. I mean, obviously we knew it wasn't gonna happen until like the very end because it's TV,
Right.
but she found the will and we're gonna see what that means for next week, and I'm excited for that.
I mean, the Tracy and Lucy scenes were so good that I was actually getting excited about Tracy buying another house and having all the quartermates with her. And then
She did say that.
Drew being all alone in the McMansion talking about I won and nobody's there to
Nobody
celebrate with him.
hears. Loser.
I was looking forward to that. But there's not enough money that GH has to build another mansion. So
Absolutely. Um, we also okay, so we are in young adult hospital. We have
Mhm.
Geo softening towards Brooklyn and Dante following the conversation he has with Lois. Finally, I just don't want to see Geo having an attitude with Brooklyn and Dante anymore.
Yeah, I'm very
I'm
much
over
over
it.
it.
Um,
I
you
was
know,
over it 3 weeks ago. I'm like, yeah.
absolutely always been over it. So, whatever. But we also have Gemma, Gio and Emma recruiting like the younger young adults to their
Hmm.
plan to bring down Dalton. And at first I didn't get like what the point was, but it does seem that because we saw that Britt is now
Hmm.
Dalton's boss and the actual big boss is now Sidwell. It would make sense that you're bringing in Charlotte, who was warned by Valentine, Rocco, who has this relationship with Rick or with Britt, um, and then Danny, who is just Danny, who I love.
Did you see? I don't know. Maybe I was doing too much, but I felt like Danny and Charlotte had a little bit of Kim going on.
They're related.
I know, but it just was weird. Just
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah.
I was like, what about Jake? I was like, what you
I
doing?
saw it at first, but then I had to remember that Danny's a Cassadine, and I was like, oh no, 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 no. Yeah, so it's all
Yeah,
family. It's all family,
it's all
cousins and
good.
brothers. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, don't go there, G. Don't
No,
go
I hope
there.
they don't because people were already mad about people. There were people who were mad about Charlotte and Jake because of Lucky, and I was like, well, Lucky ain't like let's not play. Lucky barely raised
Right,
Aiden, okay?
right.
Um, so it was silly. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we have them. We have Emma is gonna break into this lab, and she walks in and sees Britt there, and she's like, "What are you doing here, Britch?" I did laugh. Like calling that woman the Britch is crazy. We
It's
also
always
have
on. It's all Emma is always on site with.
always on
Oh
site.
wait.
We also have Rocco and Charlotte lying. So.
I
It,
love those scenes with Dan with Dominic just grilling Rocco. So where were you that night?
yes.
I was just like,
It
it
was,
was straight. It was comedy.
I mean, I don't care about them, but it was also like the first time I saw some real chemistry between Dante and Lulu, like just the playfulness of it.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not a Lante fan. Matter of fact, I'm on the Bronte ship because I'm not messing with
Hmm.
Chase. Um, but yeah, like AI Nathan tells Lulu, "Hey, had dinner." Lulu snaps, goes off. They tell Dante, yes, I did love those scenes with Dom playing cop. she
That's
was
why
like,
I was like,
so what did I tell you? I told you I wanted them to come to me. He was like, listen,
no, she said, I thought we agreed. And he was like, I didn't agree to anything.
I
I'm a
I
cop. That's what
surely
I'm
did
gonna do.
not. I surely did not agree. Um, so yeah, that's where we are with them. Young adults are rising up. We're gonna see some more from them.
Yeah.
Um,
Young adult summer and the fall. Love it.
yeah. And so it's interesting because now we're having, it feels like we're about to have like a combination of spy and mob hospital.
Mhm.
We had this conversation, and also was like the who shot Drew of it all between Michael and Sonny. And you alluded to this conversation where Sonny is like, listen, Alexis is about to bring down the hammer, son,
Mhm.
and really framed out for Michael how people see him. And
Mhm.
at first, I was like, Michael's been through all these things, but I was also like, yeah, at the hands of Sonny, or at the hands of like the lifestyle because of Sonny. These things did not
Mhm.
happen to Michael because he was a Quartermain. They happened to him because he was a Corinthos.
Mhm.
Um, and so the other thing that really sat with me is that Willow has always been defined by her victimhood.
Mhm.
And Michael has always like been who he was despite all of it. And that is the part that gets him in that would like make people more sympathetic to Willow.
Mhm.
So yeah, that happened. But then we also have Sunny talking crazy to Marco. Marco
No,
going to
but
tell his daddy. Oh, go ahead, please.
it was just I wanted to go back to Michael.
Yeah,
What
please.
also happened is Drew again trying to needle Michael into a reaction, and Michael was just like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
Loved it. I mean, it's just like the desperation of Drew just to get Michael attention is crazy. Like he's so childish in that. It's like you are the adult. You're supposed to be the elder in the relationship, but you're doing everything that you can to get a rise out of Michael, to get him in jail, to make him lose his family, lose whatever. You want Michael to grovel at your feet, which is sad. So sad. But anyway, yes.
hmm hmm Yeah. Yep. It's yeah. I loved when Sonny like encouraged him. Like he's like, "Good job, son, not going off on him this one time." Drew is a loser.
Such a
Anyway,
loser.
I hate him so much. Um, so we have then what was I lost it in my notes.
Mark, yes,
Oh,
Marco and Sidwell.
so Sonny talking crazy to Marco. Marco basically going to Sidwell and being like, I didn't catch it at first, but I'm like, oh, did Marco basically tell Sidwell to kill Sonny?
Yeah, he's like, when are we getting this revenge on? I was like,
Because before
dude.
it felt like he wanted him to be like locked up or whatever. He was like, no, he's talking too crazy. We need to whatever. And
Yeah.
Sidwell was like, well, we should go talk to Sonny right now.
Yes, let's go confront him over what he's done. And I love how Sidwell is trying to, be like, let's try to do this. And Sonny's just like, nah, I know what you did.
Yeah. And Christina's just looking like a deer in headlights.
Just do it.
Once Christina know that Marco won't Sonny dead, it's over for Marco. You know how
Oh
Christina feel
yeah.
about her daddy. Okay,
Oh
it ain't
yeah.
going down like that, babes. Um, so we also at the same time have Justine, aka Horny DA, like meeting with Jordan about how to take Sonny down. And something that really struck me is that this show does not want to tell a mob story, but want us to look at Sonny as like some sort of like devious mobster. And you can't have it both ways. I started watching this show probably I know after you, but like full time watching this show in like '03. It was gritty. It was like
Mhm.
you had like scenes on the dock. It was dark. It was this. It was that like you knew you lived in a mob town. There was random shootouts sometimes. Like this happened. right where we are now, that is not, I mean, going back, even Max and Milo, who were like mob guards, were actual like real characters. You saw them living in the mob compound with like it looked secure. Now Sonny lives in like a spacious house in a nice neighborhood. You are not telling the same type of mob story. You are not building a city around Mobster Sonny. And so it's to me personally falls a little flat when you want to tell this big bad mobster Sonny story because that's not what we're seeing.
I kind of feel like Sonny is in his retirement era, but he
Hmm.
can't let go of the of what happened in the past. So everybody else is responding to how Sonny was. And like you said, he's not that anymore. And then the stuff that used to happen in Port Charles is not necessarily happening anymore, except when it comes to Sidwell. Sidwell's doing kind of all kinds of nefarious stuff, but Sonny himself, he's not doing that anymore. And I think it's because he's still in the back of his mind wants to retire. But he can't because Sidwell is back in town, and now Sidwell's causing all this kind of mayhem. And he realizes that him being in power is what's best to protect Port Charles. But at the same time, Port Charles is just like, well, you're still dangerous. Like he used to be dangerous. Y'all need to wake up and see that Sonny's not dangerous anymore. And then also, like Jordan was saying, she can't get anybody to really go against Sonny because people like him too much. That's that's
Hmm.
a problem. So it's an interesting thing. But yeah, I don't. I kind of would love to see somebody else for Sonny's sake because he got heart problems and he's a granddad and he needs to settle down. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know how GH is actually gonna make it happen that he gets to retire.
Hmm. I think that there's another piece of it for me that's
Uh-huh.
like we have this scene where it's like Justine and Jordan sitting down talking about Sunny. Jordan, you work for an East African warlord, and you have done nothing but be all up in Curtis's face and all up in Portia's uterus that you haven't been able to gather any information. All you've done is order noodle booter from your nice apartment that your dirty money pays for. And so
Mhm.
it's really tough to watch Jordan specifically sit down with this DA talking about taking down Sonny and what to do when Jordan, you're working for somebody who is objectively worse.
Right.
Objectively worse, and you've not done anything. And you have not even asked any real questions. You know that Sonny didn't think Sidwell burnt down the penthouse because you should be in these conversations. You should be thinking about this if you're really taking him down. So you know that they think he burned down the penthouse. You know that he burned down Charlie's, and never did you not once say, "Hey, I wonder if that's happening." You met with Anna to talk about Portia's uterus, not about what your shady boss was doing. And now he about to do animal testing on some like phase-on level nonsense, and you still not up in Curtis's face worrying about Portia's pregnancy. So you
Mhm.
couldn't notice whether or not Portia could eat a puff pastry, but you couldn't notice whether or not your boss was out here villainizing the whole town. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Horrible. And nobody's pointing this out to her. She's had conversations with Laura. she said, yeah, I've been a little distracted, and here's why. And I'm going to distract you with my distraction. Talk about
Right.
Curtis. Nobody's standing on business with Jordan. Jordan is
No,
crazy.
annoying. So we also see, and this is kind of the wrap up. So we see that Carly is playing Brennan. Jason is like looking at her like, why you ain't calling me back? And she is trying to get him to move Valentine back to the States. So she uses Lulu's concern. So we end Friday with him asking Lulu if Charlotte could see Valentine if he was closer. We also have Jason talking to Anna about getting Jocelyn out of the WSB. And Anna basically was like, we can't do that, but we can give her an easier assignment.
or a different
Okay.
boss.
A different boss.
Hmm.
So foolishness. Foolishness. But it's here. That's Spy Hospital mixed up with Mob Hospital mixed up with all the hospitals. So we gonna see how this goes down. Um,
Spicy week, spicy November to start.
spicy, spicy. Um, do you have any hot takes?
Let's see what else that I wrote.
We can go back and forth. I have a couple.
Okay.
First, I just had to laugh when Drew was going in on the kids. On I like to call them the um what did I call them? Not the Sante Salante kids. Um, when he was like, he's like, you didn't hear what they said to me. Are you a grown man congressman who's villainizing people, or are you a
Right.
child? You didn't
He
hear what they
is a
said to
child.
me.
So childish. It's crazy.
Yes. Okay, what you got?
Um, the only other thing, because I've already said everything, I was like, why aren't the Qs investigating this will? It's so crazy to me.
Crazy.
Like
Crazy.
everybody's stupid in this. And
Crazy.
that's
Yeah.
another thing is it's like, how did Martin think that he was gonna get away with this? He's a freaking lawyer. Don't you think of
Right.
his thought about all the ways that his plan could go wrong?
Well, Tara brought this up. Tara brought this up, and the fact that she thinks that so Michael got just enough to not make it suspicious. And then if you remember, Laura was like, Ronnie, I think that Monica gave you the house so that like you could like be a part of this family that she like came into and loves. So I think that that's, it's all silly, but I do think that that's like the thing.
Like,
Um,
yeah, not one person though, except for Tracy, is
come on.
thinking this seems a little odd.
This seems ridiculous.
Not one of them was like, oh, let's check with the lawyer to verify that he wrote that this is all true. They're like, yeah,
Right.
Monica worked with a lawyer who's really good reputation. They don't even know who this lawyer is.
Yeah.
Yeah, not one person. But
Um,
anyway.
I laughed when Jason kicked Drew's cane. I was like, Lord, forgive me.
Yes!
I'm talking about
Everybody else.
cackled.
And then Jason dragged him out of the just childish and buffoonish. I'm sorry, Drew. They're making you look like an idiot this week. That's hilarious.
It's so funny. And then the last thing I had was, where is Brooklyn? I did not like it's so bizarre to me that they have Lulu sharing these like very special scenes
Oh
with Tracy,
yeah.
and Brooklyn is like somebody who's essentially thrown her under the bus.
That's
I don't get
right.
I get it. Tracy's on her own. She's gonna prove herself to be right, blah blah blah, all of that. But to me, there was no reason for her not to like share scenes in love with Brooklyn. Like we didn't need that to like give
Yeah.
we didn't need that.
So
So
Willow and Brooklyn are on vacation. Well, Willow's on vacation in jail, but
well, I think there was like a preview around like couples that came out.
uh,
And so
uh,
one was like about Sunny and the corny DA getting closer. It was a couple things. And then one was about Brooklyn confronting Chase. So hopefully we
okay,
get something there.
good. Yeah. And it looked like next week, well, the whole family was ends up being there when the news comes out. Because even though the dog ran away with the will, the next scene has like the family surrounding Drew sitting on the table telling Ronnie that she should hurry up and sign some papers. So maybe the whole
Hmm.
family will witness what happens. I can't remember if Brooklyn was in the room or if it was just Ned and Olivia, but there was definitely more people in the room than what was there this Friday.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So next week, Monday, Tracy has the upper hand. We like that. Drew
Hmm.
is rattled. Britt is caught in the act. Sunny pleads with Alexis. Emma and Gio further their plan. Tuesday, Britt receives a warning. Portia has stern words for Jordan.
Mm, can't wait.
Martin confides in Laura. Rocco is foiled. Alexis and Drew clash. Wednesday, Anna is in danger. Gio is the voice of reason. Alexis supports Danny. Sunny arranges a private meeting with Justine. Felicia and Spinelli are relieved. Thursday, Jocelyn receives a new assignment. Tracy has her work cut out for her. Marco catches Lucas off guard. Supposedly, Marco's gonna ask Lucas to move in with him to Windermere. I'm sorry. I
To
love me some
Windermere?
Lucas. I know.
To-
I love me some Lucas. Love me some Lucas. Lucas, I need your face cracked, baby, when you find out who Marco is. Cracked.
hmm
Okay?
hmm
Felicia takes on a new case. A familiar faith lands in Port Charles.
Yeah, they did mention that, and I'm just like, who?
Maybe Valentine?
Oh, yeah,
I
huh.
don't know though. I don't know.
But he's not released. He's just, yeah.
Mhm. And Friday, Sunny confers with Jason. Laura's mayoral campaign suffers a setback. Carly updates Valentine. Ava impresses Sidwell, which last time we seen Sidwell, he was all up in Lucy face. So this is interesting.
Mhm.
And Emma and Charlotte strategize. So
Sidwell seemed impressed by Ava when he went to the gallery
he
and
did.
was looking for art for Windermere. So,
Yep, he
and
did.
now that Ava is not involved in the shenanigans with Rick, she has something else she could be doing. So that's
Yep.
interesting.
Well, make sure to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I am 95% sure I'm going to be going to this Rory Gibson, Chris McKenna event in Chicago. So if y'all are going, anybody's going, let us know. Because I would love to do like a little meetup situation, get you a little Sunday shift button or something if you'd like. So yeah, let us know. And otherwise, we were so happy that you made it to the end. We appreciate you. Um, Again, like, share, subscribe, comment, merch in the description, buy some coffee in the description, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.